Let's go.
I'm your host, Jewel Fagudi, and I'm with the iconic, the amazing, y'all know him from the Story Podcast, Malcolm Crawford.
What's good? What's good? How y'all doing?
Yo, he talks about pop culture, a lot of anime, and
Facts.
really, he knows about how are we building communities as a content creator. So I'm gonna pass the back to you to, say more about yourself.
What's good? As y'all know, I am Malcolm. I talk about anime, pop culture, music, hip hop, just a little bit of everything.
Okay, period.
We just like to talk, vibe out, build community, hang out. I got two podcasts: the Storm Podcast, THA, Storm Podcast, and then Thunder Talks Podcast, where we talk about a little bit of everything.
Okay, period. Y'all, check it out. Great content. Okay.
I love it. It's so much fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, before we dive into our topic,
Okay.
we got a little special segment.
Let's do it.
Okay, drum roll, please.
Let's get it.
Drum roll.
Let's get it.
Actually, there's something I just want to bring up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see this color coordination. Hopefully y'all been noticing. We got different themes for every goblet of smile.
That's fine.
Because we know you talk a lot about anime. Do you know what this reference could be?
Yeah, look like Death the Kid to me.
Okay,
See, I'm a Soul
period.
Eater fan. I almost wore my Soul Eater backpack. I didn't, but it works with the fit. It's fire. I rock with Soul Eater.
Okay,
it's one of my favorites. Top 15, top 20 anime for me. Yeah.
Okay, if it's your favorites, but it's in top 50. Okay, that's another.
I've watched a lot of anime. Like, probably about 100. Yeah.
We're going to have a great
Yeah,
conversation.
probably about 100.
Period.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it.
Let's do it. I love segments. See, we don't really have like segments and stuff like that on my show. We literally just be vibing. So to have like a structure feels so much better.
Yo,
It's
when we
nice.
get
It's
into who
nice.
he is as a content creator, this is a big combination.
Nah,
so
I love y'all show.
congrats to us, okay?
Let's do it.
Period.
Let's get it.
So this is called the Goblet of Smiles.
Okay.
Where you're going to pick a fun question.
Okay.
And the whole point is to bring a smile to you
Let's do it.
and a smile to our audience.
Okay,
so,
bet.
Pick a question, any question,
All
and read
right,
it aloud.
let's see what we got here. All right. If you could make an official rule that everyone had to follow for a day, what would it be?
Oh,
I like that. See, it's the for a day that makes it different. Because an official rule everyone had to follow for one day. I'll probably have everybody cash at me, or I have everybody tune into my pod. That's probably what I would do. Real talk.
That's
Real talk.
crazy.
Be like, yo, everybody got to cash at me $20 for the day. Nothing crazy, just a little
but
20.
if
Just a
everyone
little 20.
in the world cashed after you $20,
I'm turned.
gee, you'd be set for life.
I'm turned. I don't gotta work. I'm still gonna like work, but I don't got to. You know what I'm saying? We lit. We up. That's probably my rule. Yeah.
I'm just like,
I'm gonna get that cash out there.
like it's genius.
Get that bread.
See, look at me. My heart is just
I'm
like.
gonna get that bread. There's one thing about me. I'm gonna get to the bread.
I feel like that's so relatable.
Got
See,
to.
for me, mine would literally be like, give someone a compliment.
Oh yeah. I guess I could have said that. Nah, I'm trying to.
Like, 'cause I want that money.
I'm trying to get to the
I
bread.
want that, and that's why I'm just like, oh man, maybe they can give someone a compliment through Cash App, because your girl needs money too.
Facts.
But we're gonna get into it. So
You feel me?
So let's dive into the conversation.
I'm ready. I love talking. That's what I do for a living.
Okay,
So,
period.
I love talking.
And I feel like that's a great transition, like from content creator to other content creator. Like you've been doing the Storm for more than 5 years.
Yes. Yeah.
And you're now transitioning into like a full-time content creator. Like,
Indeed.
how was that possible? Tell me about your journey to get to where you are.
So the Storm started way back in like 2018. It wasn't a podcast yet. So at the time I was in college and I realized that I hated it. I was having no
real.
fun in college. I hated it so much. So I was like, what can I do? And I loved music. And my best friend's little cousin and my little brother's best friend, it's the same person.
Okay, like fam.
He started rapping. And he was a good rapper, but his numbers were low, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, like, if you need a manager, I'll manage you.
Okay.
So I was managing him. His name, he was like a comedy rapper. His name was Lil Kneecap Honcho.
Little Kneecap
It was-
Honcho. What a name.
It was a crazy name. He did like a lot of like comedy stuff like that. But before I started working with him, he did like, I think like 36 listens on the song, right?
Wow.
And then once we started working together, in the first month, his biggest song had 20,000 listens on SoundCloud. And in 2018, that
That's
is numbers.
crazy.
Like, we were going like he was actually on fire. I was walking down the street and somebody was driving down the street playing his song. Like he was actually like growing like crazy.
Wow.
So I was like,
How did
okay,
you
we
even
need
do
to
that.
just Instagram promotion, like just, doing
do
different
this.
marketing and
Yeah.
things like that. And it worked and things were working well. But he was 15. So
Okay.
we were trying to do shows for him, but we couldn't do shows because
he's a
he's
minor.
15 and no venues would basically do it. And at the time I was like 18. So nobody would let us do a show. So I was like, all right,
crazy.
we're going to throw a show. And that's how The Storm came about. The show was thrown under my business, The Storm, which I created for that.
Okay.
As that started going further and further, I was still in college, listening to the Joe Budden podcast.
Okay.
Which
Joe
I
Budden.
loved at the time.
Yeah.
I don't really listen to it anymore. But
It's kind of changed.
it's changed a lot.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot.
Look.
But I was like, okay, I should have a podcast for The Storm because that'll push the business along. We'll be able to talk about hip hop. We'll be able to talk about all types of things like that.
the culture. in
Exactly.
general.
Just to move it forward, kind of like on an everyday struggle type
Yeah.
vibe. I wasn't even supposed to be on the podcast. I was going to have other people do the pod
Yeah.
and just let it rock. As things went, we couldn't get the crew together. We just needed someone else to kind of fill in, whatever. So I was like, okay, I'll do it because I want to give it a shot. And the rest is history from that point. And it started off as just a hip hop podcast. We talked about hip hop, pop culture, but as a content creator, I think the most important thing is to be having fun.
Yeah.
So it started off with just hip hop. And then it kind of branched out to like hip hop and pop culture.
Yeah.
Then we were like, okay, well, we've been watching more anime, so we'll mix the anime in with it. And then as time went on, hip hop kind of got a little boring. So like a year and a half ago, we were like, let's cut down on the hip hop and just do anime. And that's what we've been doing right now. So yeah,
That's how I know you is through the anime. So it's nice to know
Exactly.
like where the foundation is.
yeah, it just built. We want it to be natural. We never want to come on a recording day and be like, we're gonna talk about hip hop because that's what we have to do today. It's our show. We can do whatever we want to do with it.
I like
we
that.
have. We're like, we don't want to talk about this, or we're not having fun with this, or we're not doing that. We just change it. Like we can do whatever we want. It's ours.
Yeah.
And our listeners, we don't want to build a community that's only there for what we talk about. We want the community to be there for us.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if we're talking about hip hop, if we're talking about anime. There's been episodes where I'm into reality TV.
Yeah.
Me and my girl watch like Love Island and like.
Wait, you watch Love
Bachelor-
Island? Y'all watch Love Island?
I love.
Y'all
Love
watch
Island.
Love Island UK?
I didn't finish this season of Love Island UK because I'm not gonna lie, I got a little bored.
Wait.
I got a little bored.
Love Island UK is better than Love Island USA.
Did you watch this season of Love Island USA?
Okay, this season of with who's the guy?
Keenan
Keenan sucks.
and KK.
Keenan was triggering. Okay.
Keenan was crazy.
He's crazy.
He was insane.
And no, he was crazy because he wouldn't value her.
Yeah.
But also she couldn't see like, because when they have Casa Amor.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he was like, I don't care.
He was wild.
He was wild. He was wild.
Yeah, no, but we love reality TV. That's our vibe.
Okay, sorry, I'm a big Love Island.
Nah, I can talk about
junkie.
Love Island. I can talk about The Bachelor.
Wait,
we watch
y'all
Love
watch
is Blind.
Wait,
I watch
stop!
everything.
Okay, wait.
I watch
We're gonna have a
everything.
quick tangent because it's actually very important with pop culture. Love is Blind.
Yes.
Are you watching the most current season?
I am all caught up. Yes, I'm all caught up.
So we're gonna break the fourth wall. Has anyone invested? Are y'all okay with spoilers here?
I'm not watching.
Okay.
Oh, y'all
Are you
tripping. It's fire.
Are you
It's
fully
fire.
caught up?
I'm fully caught up.
Yo,
I'm fully
were you
caught up.
surprised by? Were you surprised by like the results? Like,
Surprised? Nah.
yeah.
Nah. I knew that Clay was gonna say no. That was obvious.
But that was crazy because I'm just like, he didn't have to take it to the end. Like, I feel like he should have done what the other guy did.
So here's the thing. So this is what I heard. Apparently, if you get engaged in the pods, your contract says if you don't go to the altar after getting engaged, you owe Netflix like $50,000. Yeah. So it's in the contract that like you have to go to the altar. So that's why a lot of those people go. I don't know how Jimmy and Chelsea got out of it.
Yeah.
Or maybe they did pay. I don't know. But yeah, you have to pay like $50,000 if you don't go to the altar. It's crazy.
The more you know.
Yeah, it's insane. Those like contracts they sign are insane.
Yeah,
I saw a TikToker who like broke down one of the contracts. I don't know how they got it, but they broke down one of the contracts, and some of the things in those contracts are crazy. Yeah, I couldn't go on Love. Well, first of all, I have a girlfriend, so I would never go on Love is Blind.
Period.
But if I was single, I would never go on a show like that.
So that's a good segue when we think about contracts into the importance of reading contracts as a content creator.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with this.
I know exactly where you're going with
Okay,
that.
tell us more. Tell us more.
Okay, so long story short, as you guys know, I have a podcast on YouTube. That's the biggest platform for the podcast is YouTube. Our numbers started going up in YouTube. With that comes money. Money started going up on YouTube. I'm not going to say the exact number, but we were making more money than we had ever made. Before we were making like $10 a month.
Yeah.
And with that, we also have to pay money for the, everything. So we were negative for like 4 years, basically.
Which is a reality.
It happens.
Yeah.
You have to spend money in order to make money. So I wasn't tripping about that. But we got to the point where we were very positive, more than we had ever made. And then we got demonetized. So it's actually crazy because we were making a good amount of money, and there's a anime convention in Texas called DreamCon.
Yeah, shout out to DreamCon.
DreamCon.
Because RDC World started.
RDC World, goats. Love RDC World.
Shout out.
Love DreamCon.
Yeah.
We got accepted to do our podcast at DreamCon.
Okay.
And I was kind of hesitant because to get the whole team to DreamCon, flights, hotel, all that.
It's a big investment.
It's a big investment.
Yeah.
So I was hesitant, but I was like, okay, we have the money. We can do this, and we're going to make so much content. We're going to make that money back. Like, we'll spend all this money, but we'll make the money back. It'll be okay. We get to DreamCon. We literally fly to DreamCon. We land. The whole team decides to go take a nap. I don't like sleeping in the daytime, so I was like, I'm just going to get some work done.
Yeah.
Open up my computer, find out we got demonetized literally right when we landed at DreamCon.
How did you feel when... Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, my God. My heart dropped. So originally I got an email saying we were demonetized. Click this link to fix it. And I'm like, that ain't real. Like that's just some, that's some fishy. I'm not worried about that. And then I clicked on the YouTube, and then YouTube gave me the notification like, yo, y'all shut off. And I'm like, bro, I was in shock. I just sat at the computer for probably like a good 3 minutes before I was like, could even come to the reality of it. Because it really messed me up. Then I went into super research mode, trying to like research. And here's the thing about YouTube. They are very, how do I explain it? They're very like particular, not even particular, but they couldn't tell us what we did wrong. They said they can't tell us because if they tell us, then people will be able to like avoid or whatever. So they just give you a list of the top 5 things you could have probably did wrong.
And I don't like that because that's how platforms don't set you up for success.
Exactly.
YouTube, don't mess with us, please. We just starting. Go ahead.
No, for real. YouTube, y'all want to stay locked in with YouTube. For real. But
we love you. Go ahead.
Hey, I love YouTube too now.
Shout out to YouTube. We love you too. Okay.
But we were demonetized, and I'm like, so it's a whole process. You got an appeal process where you can, appeal, figure it out. So I sent in the appeal that day, and I was like, okay, hopefully everything's good. It takes 3 days to get it back. My energy for the rest of DreamCon wasn't where I wanted it to be because I just got the most devastating news of my life.
Because you set your life up to expect to continue to get the cash flow.
Exactly.
What were the things you were setting up that you had to change?
So we had actually just signed the lease for our new studio. We had literally just signed the lease like maybe 4 days before. So now I'm like, how are we going to pay the rent for the new studio? We had the plans to get all this new equipment, do this, do that. Like there's so many plans that we've had. I literally just signed a lease for my new, I hadn't signed the lease for my new apartment yet. But I was trying to get a new apartment with my girlfriend, all types of things. And it's like everything, the future that I could see for myself is just crumbled. Like everything is just gone.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Like it was extremely difficult. And we were down. You can reappeal every 90 days. So we were down for about 6 months. We just got turned back on
6
literally
months?
2 weeks ago.
So wait, literally 2 weeks ago?
Literally 2 weeks ago, we just got our monetization turned back on.
So is that why you started another podcast, or?
That is part of the reason. So the game plan was to already start another podcast.
Because that was already in the plan.
That was already in the plans.
Makes sense.
But we were going to use the funds from the Storm podcast to fund the new podcast to, just kind of branch out, do more things. Then it kind of switched, the game plan changed of starting a new podcast in order to fund the Storm podcast. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, granted, shout out to all of our patrons on Patreon.
Yeah.
No, it's all good.
It's okay.
Sorry, we just-
Hey, y'all. So we're laughing because we had a technical difficulty.
A couple.
Okay, honestly, it's been back to back, but that's because this content about to be fire.
Facts.
Okay.
Facts.
My camera died, but now we're using an iPhone, and honestly, I think this quality, I feel like it's bumping.
No, iPhone quality is fire. Like I have
fire.
homies who record full pods on iPhones.
Okay, so shout out to the iPhone, okay, and shout out to the team, okay.
Facts. Y'all got a great team. Like we don't have like a production team. It's literally just us. The people you see on the couch is who's in the room.
Gee.
Yeah.
Give it up for y'all.
We face the camera our way.
Good.
Yeah.
So
Y'all are great.
Period. Well, I guess with that said, this was a pivot we had to do in live time. And I think
Facts.
it's a great reflection, or to an extent, the pivots you had to make when you found out YouTube demonetized you. And also, can you break down what demonetization means?
Yeah, so when you're on YouTube, you can get monetized, which basically means you'll get paid for your videos.
Yeah.
So after you get, I believe it's 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours.
Okay.
You can join the YouTube partnership program, and they'll put advertisements on your videos, and you'll make a percentage of that money.
Okay.
So we were monetized, getting money, doing our thing, got demonetized. Things started going bad for us. But we had to pivot. You know, we had to make a lot of different changes in order to be able to do what we need to do. Because we can't stop. We can't stop. We could have. And I would be lying if I said it didn't hurt to come in and record knowing that we're not making anything.
Yeah.
It only hurt because we started making something. But at the end of the day, we were like, we did this for 4 years without making anything. So we can do it again. You know what I'm saying?
We can keep doing it.
And that goes back to what I was saying earlier about having fun with what you're doing.
Yeah.
If I was working a job and my job told me you're not going to get paid anymore, I'm not pulling up to that job.
Exactly.
But what we do, it is a job, but it doesn't feel like a job. That's not what it is to us. It's just fun. Like, this is what we do. We're all homies. My co-hosts are my younger brother and my best friend since 4th grade.
I love that.
So this is what we do. Like,
yeah.
we literally, all these conversations that you guys see on our podcast are the conversations that we have when the cameras aren't off. Every time we hang out, we're shooting podcasts because it's just our regular talking, vibing. So even though we're demonetized, we're like, we're just going to keep doing this. But thank God to the patrons. All of our patrons are fantastic. They helped lessen that burden a little bit.
So your Patreon community, like, really...
The Patreon community is goated. Granted, the Patreon wasn't enough to make up for the rent because we still signed that lease. So we were still on the hook for that lease. So we have the new studio, but we didn't get the furniture and equipment that we wanted, but we have the new studio. We had to pay out of pocket.
Wow.
So Patreon handled some of it, but the rest of it we just handled out of our pocket, which is tough as a full-time content creator.
I was like, how are you making money then?
So shout out to TikTok. That's where I make the majority of my money.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
Tell
TikTok
me more
is how I
about
pay my
that.
bills. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm in the creator program beta.
Okay.
So basically I get paid for my views. And that's how I pay my rent every month. I'm living like I'm a full-time content creator, but I'm not living lavish. Like I'm living close within my margin, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's
still like a lot of people, they spend their lifetimes trying to get into, hey, can we do this full time?
Yeah.
So like literally kudos to you.
It's tough. Like it's really tough. And I'm not a full-time content, or at the time I wasn't a full-time content creator by choice. Like I got fired from my job.
Okay, wow.
I got fired, but like
what's the fire?
I got fired because I stopped showing up.
Oh.
But like, you know what I'm saying?
But you didn't care about the job. Let's be honest. Like your purpose.
I hated that
and
job.
that's about every day's how are you living in your purpose every day? And you're like, I'm doing that through the pod.
Exactly. I realized that every single time I hit that punch clock, I felt like I was giving up a piece of my soul.
Wow.
It got to the point where like
I was trying to that.
That's not for me, you know?
Yeah.
And shout out to people who enjoy their job. Shout out to the people who are okay with going to a job, or even I have so much respect for people who are able to say, yo, I'm not really rocking with this job, but it's a means to an end, and I'm going to make the fullest of the time that I'm not at that job. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Shout out to those people. Me, I wasn't able to do that. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
'Cause
It
you're just,
hurt
like,
too
bad.
bad. Like while I was there, like it got to the point where, shout out to my dog Ouchie. He used to work with me at Target,
Yeah.
but he transferred to another Target.
Yeah.
And one of my coworkers ran into him at Target, and they were talking about me. And she was like, "Oh yeah, like I see Malcolm, but it's like he's not even there. Like he's just zoning out, walking. Like I was a whole different person in that store because
Wow.
I would walk in the door and be like, all right, let me just try to zone out and make this clock move faster, so I can leave, hit the studio, edit this pod, like." But you got to work while you have a job too. Like
Exactly.
I had the job and I was still going hard. I was literally leaving my studio. I worked at 4 a.m. I was literally leaving the studio. I would sleep at the studio some days, head to my job. I would be going back to my studio on my lunch breaks.
Yeah.
I was going back to my studio on my 15s to edit, to make clips, to do all the things. Bro, I was grinding. And you can look back on those old podcasts.
Yeah.
They're all there. I look tired.
I was going to say, how did you balance or what was your fuel to keep going?
I have to make it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
just, the fuel was, this is what I want and this is what I got to do to get what I want. But you can look on the pod. I was looking back at an old episode and I was like, yo, I'm tired. In that episode, I look sleepy, but that's what you got to do. And I loved it. That was probably one of the happiest times where I was doing all that work, grinding outside. Like it sucked when I was at Target.
Yeah.
When I wasn't there, it felt fantastic to be able to be like, yo, I'm really working toward my dreams right now. This is what I want. And I'm taking these steps every single day. It was great.
I'm just so glad because, like, as a creator, like, is Jewel about to talk about her life? Woo! Yes, she is. Anyways, as a creator, like, I'm in that situation where, you know what? I'm a video game producer.
Right.
Which sounds like a cool job. And it is
It
a
does sound
really
like a
cool
cool
job.
job.
Look, it's cool. And, like, I do love video game production. I'm saying this because my bosses are totally probably watching. So shout out to y'all for now. JK, shout out to y'all. Think I'm about to edit this or not. Anyways, the point is like, honestly, this has been my life holistically. I've always been someone that's working in tech. Before it was video game production, then it was being a technical PM at Minecraft, then it was being a PM at Xbox. We'll talk about gaming, period.
That is fire.
I mean, thank you.
That's turn.
Representation. But with that said, it's always been balancing job with working towards your goals.
Right.
And to hear you and your journey, like, I commend you for knowing when to take that step and be like, hey, like, this is literally eating my soul and I'm going to focus on this. But it's also just to show, like, that is the importance of determination. Like, I'm so proud of the show. I'm so proud of us because from my own personal journey as a creative, this is like after various films, various different shows like this while balancing my job. So I'm just thank you. If that makes sense.
No,
Very
for sure.
inspiring.
And like, shout out to all the people that I also have a support system. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like it's just me
100%.
out here. Like, for a time period, I moved back in with my mom. Like, I was living at my mom's crib. Shout out to my girlfriend. You know, like, I have
Shout out to mom, girlfriend, period.
facts. Without the people around me, shout out to my team. Like, shout out
your
to all the
team.
people who help. It's not like it's just me out here doing this. Like, I have people who can help me, and I work so hard because I want nothing more than to be able to give back to them. You know what I'm saying? My long-term goal is to be able to buy my mom a crib.
Yeah.
I want to be able to have my girlfriend not work anymore. Like, I would love to be able to support me and her off this creation to where she likes her job. She loves it.
Yeah.
But it would be fantastic for her to not have to do that. You know what I'm saying?
'Cause
Like,
it's a different energy when you don't have to log in.
Exactly.
It's like you're just doing it to do. Like, I enjoy video game production.
Right.
But, like, it'd be cool if that wasn't, like, something I had to do.
exactly.
Yeah.
When you don't have to do something, it gives you a whole different sense of freedom.
Yeah.
You can enjoy something more. You don't have to do it. You know, that's why we love our hobbies. 'Cause
Exactly.
You don't have to go to the gym. You don't
Exactly.
have to knit or whatever you're, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I don't have to play video games. I do it because I want
Want
to.
to.
And that's what makes it awesome. Like, yeah, it's great. So I'm trying to just get to that freedom level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love how you bring about, like, the importance of community and also the importance of having a, like, dedicated fan base and viewers
Facts.
and community. How did you, like, focus on building that community? Like, I know you kind of mentioned, hey, we want to make sure they're here for us, but
Facts.
you've also, like, evolved. You, like, did hip hop, pop culture. Now it's anime. Like, how do you keep them engaged? How do you get that feedback? Have you Yeah, how do you just keep growing your audience?
So at the end of the day, right, we don't look at our audience as just fans.
Yeah.
These people a lot of them have become our friends, you know? Like we have a Discord server. I don't know if everybody knows what Discord is.
I work off Discord. Like literally my company works off Discord.
Discord is fantastic.
It is. You
Like,
should tell
it's
folks
great.
what it is, but
So
as a gamer.
basically, Discord is like one big group chat for all of our podcast listeners and everybody, right? So we only put out, of the Storm podcast, we do one episode a week, and the Thunder Talk podcast, we do one episode a week. But in the Discord, that's going 24/7, you know? So
how do y'all manage that? Like, do y'all have a community monitor? Are y'all the community monitors?
do we have, we don't really have community monitors per se. Okay. When I tell you our community is fantastic, we don't really need them. Like really, like people don't, it's not negative in there at all. Everybody just vibes and people can go in there, they talk, they send messages. I'm getting Discord messages right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it just keeps people's minds on the podcast. It lets us interact with the listeners. I know if I'm not going to do it, but I could sit here and name off a lot of our listeners by name. Because they're in the comment section every week. We talk to them. They DM me. I'm on Twitch as well. Yeah. And we get to have those one-on-one conversations.
Tell folks who are non-gamers what Twitch is. I mean,
Twitch is like, it's live streaming.
It's live streaming.
It's live streaming, playing video games, things like that. So when we have an opportunity to connect with the listener, we do. And we like, that's literally the best part to me about being a content creator is connecting with the listeners. It is literally the best thing ever. When we're at anime conventions or even when I'm just out and somebody recognizes, even shout out to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Devontae, yo, when Devontae saw Malcolm, he was like, yo, you're the guy.
And I love that. You know what I'm saying? Like that is the best stuff ever because it's like, whoa, people genuinely care about what I have to say. Yeah. And I care about everybody who cares about me. Granted, I don't have the opportunity to talk to everybody super close. Yeah. But the way our show works is it's very real. Yeah. It's very honest. Like it's literally me and my friends talking on the couch. Y'all do know me. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, y'all know me quite
because, like,
well.
It's like we're inviting you onto a conversation we typically have.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
this
cool.
is y'all know how we are. It's not like we put on an act or a front on the camera. Y'all know how we we argue on the podcast. We laugh together. We've cried on the podcast. I ain't never cried. But my dog cried on the podcast. You know what I'm saying?
We love the vulnerability. It's giving vulnerability.
No, facts. That episode was crazy. But
now I'm about to look it up. Okay.
I think it's called Therapy Sesh. Yeah. It was that was an interesting episode. And I was kind of nervous to put it out because I was like, it's different than what we normally do. People loved it. Wow. That episode was crazy. So that's how you build community, is just always being real with your community and always being yourself. It's exhausting to have to put on an act every single time you want to talk to somebody or whatever. And then what happens if somebody catch you when you're not in the act? Like maybe you on the street or whatever, somebody like, yo, this ain't the Malcolm that be on the pod. Like,
exactly. Why you different?
You can't build community like that. You know what I'm saying? So building community is just about being real with yourself, being real with your community, and just understanding that these people are invested in you. Like I always do my best to give the best product that we possibly can to them because, and not just the best product, but sometimes just the realest product. Even if it's not the best, we make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? We have tech mistakes. We got all types of problems. You know what I'm saying? And we just got to have the people rock with us. We show them what it is, and that's how you help. And being consistent is super important.
That one is an interesting one about consistency. And this is like, you know, I love this because this is like a conversation I want to have with you anyway.
Yeah, I'm down.
Right? Like, we are in our second season, shout out.
Fire.
And we are, I think that's something we're trying to figure out is like, I have a season mindset because I was like, I live in the life of like balancing my job with this until you know this pops off and then we all can be like
coming soon,
right? So that's why it's like, okay, how do we constantly engage people if we're not always putting episodes out? But it seems like regardless, consistency is just content in general. Like how are you constantly just reaching out to people?
So I'm on TikTok every day. I've posted since I got on TikTok in like late 2020. Yeah, I've posted almost one video a day every single day for like 5 years. As well
That's
as our
consistency, though.
I miss some days. I'm not going to sit here and act like I haven't, but I post a lot. Same with our podcast. We've been potting for 5 years. The Storm podcast has never missed a week.
Dang.
There's been times where the episode has been late. We've never missed a week. Every single week there is a new episode out.
Is it just because you know you have to? Like, Like, what about sick weeks? What about weeks when you're just like, I'm not feeling this?
We've potted through COVID. I got my wisdom tooth out. I potted with like
You
my
did not pot
face
with-
was swollen.
Okay, so my segue is I used to host Minecraft shows once
That's
a month.
so cool.
I know, so check it out, Minecraft on BlockBuzz. And I have my wisdom teeth, and I know they didn't promo it because half my face was swollen.
Yeah, my face. I potted with a swollen face. Yeah, we pod through everything.
Dang,
no
y'all
matter what
different.
happens, we make it. I'm talking. We live in Chicago. Negative weather.
I saw the -7, and someone was like, that shouldn't even be a number. I'm like,
Exactly.
Facts, but that's what we live with.
It's negative. We pod through everything. And it's just
Dang.
like one thing that I've always thought about is one of my biggest things is I don't want someone to look for us and we're not there. We're not the
Yeah.
only podcast.
Yeah.
We're not the only anime podcast. We're not the
Exactly.
only anything podcast. So if you're looking for us and we're not there, you can go find another us.
Exactly.
Well, you can't find another
I was gonna
us.
say,
You know what I'm
stop saying
saying?
that.
They
Y'all
can't
know,
find
you can't
another
find
us.
another us.
But
Word,
you know what I'm saying? They could find
word.
something similar.
Yeah.
And they might never come back. You know what I'm saying? That might be their last episode listening to us. I want
Yikes.
people to know that. And it also comes to the fact that, like, and this is, I didn't know that this was going to be a thing when I started podcasting. When you become like a doctor or lawyer, you're like, wow, I'm going to help people. You don't think that when you're podcasting, but you find out that you do. And you find out how important your show is
Yeah.
to people's lives.
Yeah.
There are people who say, like, we're in the same situation with me where they can't stand their job and this is their release.
Wow.
We talk about all this like nerd stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have friends. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, so,
they're
like,
like,
they're
nobody
looking for
rocks
y'all.
with this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wish, one of the biggest comments we get is, I wish I had friends that I could have this conversation. People feel like they're sitting on the couch with us when they're
love
in
that.
this. And it's like, wow, this makes me feel better. One of the best and craziest messages I've ever
I was
gotten.
about to ask. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my God, this message like messed me up so bad. But it like helped but messed me up.
Yeah.
Bro sent me a message and he said, I just got open heart surgery. I am in an immense world of pain. And the only thing that is getting me through it is listening to you guys' podcast episodes. Like, when he said that, I was like, wow, this podcast is more than what I thought it was. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you understand the power.
Like to just have open heart surgery. And it's like, man, the only thing that is making me feel better right now is listening to us. It's like, okay, like
Wow.
when you think like that, it's like, how could I miss a week? You know what I'm saying? And especially for like petty reasons. Like
Yeah.
I could be like, I don't feel like doing it today.
Yeah.
Or I'm feeling a little sick. This dude don't even got his heart in his chest. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Dang.
like, yeah, okay,
That's
my mouth might be swollen,
But you can do it.
but I can do it.
Wow.
We've never gotten to the point where I can't. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
always can do it.
Oh wow.
That's what you learn through potting once a week, every single week is
Yeah.
you can pot.
It's that stamina.
Any single excuse I can come up with, I can come up with the solution. I've done it for the last 5 years. There hasn't been a problem that we couldn't pot through. We've recorded at back in the day, we used to record at midnight, like consistently. That was after we got off of work. We would just all come to the studio at midnight and we would leave when the sun was coming up.
I'm a different person after midnight. I'm surprised. Wow.
We just did what we had to do. Like, because it's just more important than you realize, you know, like, you don't even your show, you know what I'm saying? There might not be people that are commenting or saying that, but it's happening. We just had somebody in our Discord this week that was like, yo, I'm new to the Discord, but I've been listening since 2019. There's so many people who listen and don't even say anything. So it's just like, you just got to go through it. You know what I'm saying? I keep that consistency because people are showing up for us, so we want to show up for them.
Y'all, can we just
It's
give
crazy.
it up? Like, that's...
Thank you. I don't think it deserves applause, but appreciate
No,
it.
but it does because even just having a realization of your impact, it still is kudos to you to actually absorbing that.
No, it's definitely crazy, especially since like our podcast is silly. Like it's
Yeah,
not like
that's
we.
what I'm saying.
You know
Like,
what I'm
y'all
saying?
goofy,
We're
like-
goofy. We laugh.
Yeah.
We argue. We scream at each other. We just be vibing. You know what I'm
But
saying?
laughing, I really do think is one of the best medicines.
Facts.
You know?
Facts.
So I think that's a great segue into, let's talk a little bit about anime.
Let's do it.
Now, I'm saying this, disclosure, as someone that doesn't watch a lot of anime.
Nah, it's cool, though. It's cool.
Like, my biggest anime experience is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That's basically anime.
So
It's
I'm glad you said
basically
that,
anime.
because there's people who say it's not, and I think it's because they say it's like American-based.
Right.
Or...
So, Avatar: The Last Airbender is not anime, right?
Okay.
But it pretty much is. Now, people will sit here and argue with you in saying that anime has to be from Japan.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. Anime is an art style.
Okay.
It's a genre.
Okay.
Anime can be made anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like saying that a Chinese person has to live in China. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like that's crazy. If a Japanese person leaves Japan and makes some anime, is it not anime?
Exactly.
Like if I go to Japan, is it now anime? Like the place doesn't dictate.
It should be like just basically the inspiration and the style around it.
Right. I can't eat Chinese food in America.
Exactly.
Like you can do that. You can eat
Exactly.
Jamaican food. It doesn't make it not Jamaican because I'm not in Jamaica.
Exactly.
So I think that's a bad argument when people say that. So Avatar: The Last Airbender, the creators don't call it anime, so that's why I don't call it anime. But the art style is very similar. The themes are very similar. Anime themes can be literally anything. There's an anime out there for everybody. There's
And that's what I'm
romance,
trying
there's
to
action,
find.
there's everything.
Romance. Like, and I was gonna say, like, when you say like there's anime for everyone, for me, I can go off everything for Avatar: The Last Airbender. But like, I love the
Avatar.
idea of like being in the ultimate state, the Avatar state, and like
Facts.
all of that. It's like, okay, what's my inner Avatar? Just the storyline of how he's trying to learn everything, following everybody else's storylines. Like,
Yeah, Avatar.
I love that.
I love Avatar.
that's actually what got me into gaming. Actually,
Really?
So y'all know I work in the video gaming industry, but like in terms of like the first games I got on console, it was like the Water book, and then was the Earth book on Wii, and then PlayStation with some other games. I'm more exposed to myself. Okay, with Scooby Doo, judge me, it's fine. I was always like, I want to be an interactive player and play the shows and content that I like to see.
Right.
Too. So like, what got you into anime? What was your introduction into anime?
So and I've said this on my show, I used to hate on anime. Like, I used to be an anime hater.
Why were you a hater?
Just cause, like, I don't know, just cause I could. Like, my little brother and my best friend since 4th grade, they both rocked with anime for the long time. Like, he used to be watching anime. You're like, man, turn that lame stuff off.
Yeah.
You watching anime. But my homies in high school were all watching Naruto.
Okay.
And they were like, yo, you should watch Naruto. You should check it out. And I'm like, bro, I'm not peeping that. That is lame.
Because the way my relation to Naruto is like, everybody's running with the backpack thing.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
like, or if you would tease people in the house, like, why you running? Why you got the Naruto run?
Y'all doing the Naruto run? I'm like, this just isn't for me,
lame.
bro. Like, it's not for me.
That's crazy.
But one night, I'm just scrolling on Netflix, whatever. I don't have nothing to watch.
Yeah.
I go on Naruto. And you know how when you leave the cursor on something too long
Yes,
on
and
Netflix,
then
it just starts?
Yeah, which
It
is
just-
a great strategy.
It's a great strategy.
Great, yes.
Like, that moment changed my life.
Like-
So I'm just sitting there. I'm like, should I watch this? And then it just started. And I was like, okay, let me check it out. Like 4 episodes in, I'm like, yo, this is some heat. Like, this is
What show is this?
Naruto?
Oh, you're talking about Naruto?
Yeah, I'm talking about Naruto.
Oh.
I'm like, yo, this is some heat. And that moment, and then weird coincidence, I was watching Naruto, and I have 2 younger brothers.
Yeah.
My youngest one is the one on the show.
Yeah.
My middle one isn't on the show. But he walked downstairs and was like, bro, you watching Naruto? I'm like, yeah, but it's kind of hitting. He was like, it's crazy. I just got this Naruto headband the other day. Like, you want it? I'm like, sure, why not?
Exactly.
And I was full in it. I'm wearing the headband, watching it like, yo, this is turn. I was rocking with it. And since then, I just been locked in with anime ever since.
So I'm glad you're talking about this, because I was very interested. Why does the Black community like anime so much? And how
Facts.
important is us as a community? Like, what role do we play in the culture? Because I'm thinking about Megan Thee Stallion and everything she's cosplaying. I'm like, okay. And then there's a song called Sailor Moon by, I forgot her name. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
And there's just a lot of, like, this isn't new, but it is new, if that makes sense. Like, there needs to be
it's coming
more-
in now. Yeah.
Exactly. It's more, you are providing that representation.
Facts. And there's a lot of other people too, you know,
Exactly.
Meg, RDC, like there's
all of them.
tons of people who are representing the culture, but like, first off, Dragon Ball Z, you cannot meet a hood dude who has not watched Dragon Ball Z.
Rest
First
in
off,
power to the creator.
I was just about to say, rest in peace, Akira Toriyama.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I actually haven't watched Dragon Ball Z. But, yeah, it's crazy.
I haven't either, but y'all know that.
I ain't watched it. But it's just like, in anime, especially shonen anime, the main themes a lot of time is like overcoming adversity, is being outcast, being like when you look at Naruto was outcast. People didn't rock with Naruto. They were like, yo, you're different in this way.
That's like the black experience.
Exactly. And it's all these perceived things that aren't actually real. Like Naruto got a demon fox put in, like a spirit put inside of him.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you're bad. Like we don't want to be around you. We're going to mistreat you because of this. And a lot of black people can relate to themes like that. Being like, oh, wow, I feel different, but he's still going to overcome. He's still going to persevere. He's going to come out on top. And he's not going to be hateful in the process.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know what I'm saying? He's just going to grin, bear it, and become the GOAT regardless. And that's in a lot of anime. And those themes resonate with black people.
Exactly.
Like, that resonates with me. Seeing those moments, and it's like... Exactly, it resonates, and you don't even have to be black. Like anybody can resonate with that to a certain extent.
I heard that anime is like one of the largest. You get what I'm saying? Like the type of genre of show, like, from across the globe.
Yeah,
like almost every other person or whatever the statistic is like into anime. It's
because
big.
There's so many anime. Like people think that anime is like for kids because they see like Pokemon, Naruto, things like that.
Which I know Pokemon was like the largest grossing like anime in the beginning.
Yeah, I think Pokemon is the biggest franchise of all time. Yeah. Which is insane. Things like that. And it's like, whoa, anime is really
it's big.
Overarching. But it's more than just that. There are super dark anime that kids should not be watching. There are romance anime. There's comedy anime. Anything that you like, if you like TV, there's an anime for you.
I'm glad you say that. Like, it is just media.
It's just media.
And that's why, like, it's interesting because I was looking at anime, like, just like different types. And I'm like, maybe this is content I can get into. Because being in the video gaming space, I feel like that's where my separation is sometimes with my colleagues. Because I'm like, oh, we're going to these gaming positions. We're going to this game. Okay, to be transparent, I thought we had to cover. Keep going. But I go to these gaming conventions, and everyone's into anime.
Right, cosplay and all that.
Exactly. And so part of me is like, you know what? If I find the right kind of content, I can be into it.
No, most definitely.
Yeah. So, like, what are you, just for me and just in general, like, what are some anime shows you recommend for each genre? Your tops that people may not know about, and where to find them, too, because, you know, we all about streaming.
Oh, yeah, well... Crunchyroll is like it's like Hulu, Netflix, whatever. There's also a lot of people watch anime illegally, allegedly. You know what I'm saying?
Allegedly.
There are a lot of alleged sites you could watch anime on because you know people ain't trying to pay. Look. But Crunchyroll is the biggest place to go. But like you watch reality TV, Love Island,
like
Bachelor,
if I like
all
Love
that.
Island, what is the anime version for Love Island?
So I really liked My Dress Up Darling.
Okay.
And it seemed weird, but it's not. Like it's
I noticed that the names could be like, but then you get into them like.
No, the names be wild. So that one got a little bit of fan service, which that's probably the biggest off-putter of
fan service.
Yeah, so fan service.
I'm kind of scared to ask this question.
It's not like weird, but like sometimes Japan be a little weird sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. So like sometimes it just be like extra jiggle for no reason, or you know what I'm saying? Things of the sort. Like it's never anything too crazy, but sometimes you be watching, you like, man, why they put this in? I'm not even trying. Like I'm just trying to enjoy the story. What's going on? You feel me?
Why you have to say extra jingle?
That's the best way I could have said it. That's how it be.
You know like that because I was kind of thinking and I wasn't sure.
Nah, it don't be too crazy, but
like
it
could be crazy.
Well, there are stuff that is too crazy.
Yeah,
I don't rock with that.
Okay,
like, yeah, that's not me. But yeah, sometimes fan service is a little off-putting.
Okay,
you kind of gotta just learn to deal with that as part of the culture. And there aren't every anime doesn't have fan service.
Yeah, but it's just like. Okay, I got another question because I in general, like I'm trying to see, and then let's see who's like watching this and also wants to know, right? Like, what's a good anime that would kind of echo Avatar: The Last Airbender, or has like a really good? There's so many good storylines, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So this is a huge debate in the anime community.
Okay,
is starter anime, right?
What's starter anime?
Basically, the anime you recommend to people to get into anime. Like, what's a good starter anime.
Yeah.
Now, starter anime should be, you should recommend it to the specific person. So like if you can, ask the person what kind of things they like, recommend things of the sort.
Yeah.
But if you can't, good starter anime, Demon Slayer is a
Okay.
really good starter anime because it's not that long and it gets lit quick.
Okay.
Some anime take a little bit of time to build. You got to watch like 5, 6, some episodes. One Piece take like 200, which is insane.
That's what, like, everyone talks about One Piece. A lot of people talk about Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan is another good starter anime.
Okay.
Because it gets lit. Episode, like first couple seconds,
Yeah.
it's turned.
That's crazy.
And
Y'all
the
watch
story
party.
is, no, for real. Attack on Titan, the story gets crazy.
Dang.
It gets wild. So, dang, my phone, my bad. But, Siri talking to me.
I was
But-
like, hey, Siri.
Right. She trying to watch Attack on Titan. But Attack on Titan, it gets turned. But Demon Slayer is a really good starter anime. My Hero Academia is a good starter anime, but it's
I've
starting to
heard
get a little long.
Okay.
So like some people are daunted by the long numbers.
Yeah.
It's about to season 7's about to drop in May. So some people are like, that's too much. But like Jujutsu Kaisen, that's another good starter anime.
Okay.
Those are things that you can just pick up quick, quickly be immersed in the world, and quickly be locked in. You know?
Okay.
Those are the things that can really get people into it all the way. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but AOT's a good one. Yu-Gi-Oh! See, now Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a good starter anime,
Period.
but it can get repetitive. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I think I got a Yu-Gi-Oh! Shirt on under. No, I don't. But I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Like I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh! fan for real. But yeah, some people, it's like, it gets a little repetitive and you
Yeah.
can get bored with Yu-Gi-Oh! If you're not like all the way invested into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a card game. I love card games though.
That's, so with everything you're saying, I'm taking notes. And also just because a lot of people have been saying Attack on Titan.
No, AOT, you should check it out. Like
Check it out.
everybody rocks with AOT. It gets a little, it's like political, so it might mess your mind up, but you gonna be
I'm a like a Black Mirror type of gal type of thing.
Watch Attack
Like,
on Titan.
Okay,
Yeah, watch
perfect.
Attack on
Because I
Titan.
need to.
yeah.
So like I'm just excited just to like dive in on that. I guess my question to you is, we talk about representation. I guess what is something you think that we provide that's like impacted or pivoted the culture of anime in the States and honestly globally?
Honestly, so much anime.
What about the top? What do you think are the top things?
So the top things are, one, I would say the content around anime. Like, as we know, anime used to be looked at as lame. Like
Yeah.
people used to be like, you watch anime, that's lame. It's not the case anymore, and
When
it's
I see
because
Megan Thee
of
Stallion cosplaying, I'm like,
exactly.
okay, girl. And I know there's other people, but I'm a big Megan Thee
Yeah,
Stallion
and
fan,
that's what we contribute. Like we made anime cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
which we tend to do in general.
we turn everything cool. But anime, we made anime cool because it's
Yeah.
like now everybody watch. Oh, Meg watch anime. Shout out to RDC World. They were a huge factor in
RDC
that.
World, it was a huge factor because I would watch their
Huge factor.
videos and then it kind of clicked. Oh wait, this is anime. I thought that was
Exactly.
funny, but like because that's how they started. They started DreamCon.
They started like they have, and that convention is growing fast.
Tell folks what DreamCon is.
So anime conventions are basically like these big events where a bunch of anime fans come. They're like panels where different voice actors will show up. There'll be different vendors who have anime brands. Like back in 2021, I went on tour with an anime brand to a bunch of different conventions. Shout out D Spirits. They're fantastic. But like there's a bunch of different things where it's just like anime fans can just come, unite, kick it, have a great time.
Yeah.
DreamCon kind of put a spin on that a little bit because it's a little bit more I don't want to say black because everybody is welcome. It's a little bit more urban, I guess, if that's the word. But then there are also like creators there. So
I'm like, you had your live show there.
we did a live show there, but they're like big creators that like Kai Cenat and AMP are there. I actually met I saw Duke there. I don't know if you know who Deshae is, but
Deshae sounds familiar.
yeah, I met Deshae there, which was crazy. I got a video with
I
Deshae.
gotta go. Y'all, let's go to DreamCon.
No,
like,
DreamCon is turned. Like
Wow.
March 15th, the tickets are dropped. Like
March
it's the
15th?
last ticket drop, so be prepared.
Wait, it's on March 15th?
No, that's just the ticket
Okay,
drop.
ticket
Because
drop,
it's gonna
okay.
sell out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dang.
it's gonna sell out fast.
Y'all give us money.
But like RDC was a huge factor in making anime
Yeah.
cool. The Storm podcast. You
Okay,
know what I'm
period.
saying?
You know, the Storm podcast,
Know what I'm saying? We
continue.
make anime cool. Like we have contributed so much to the anime culture in the sense of just like, we make anime cool. We make everything cool, but like, we make anime cool. That's what our culture does, is find things, make it cool, and change it a little bit too. Because like, our culture has influenced anime as well. If you look at My Hero Academia, there's a character called Mirko. She was literally modeled after Megan Thee Stallion.
Really? Now I'm about to check that.
She was literally Meg cosplayed her, but she was modeled after Megan Thee Stallion. There's a scene in the English dub of Jujutsu Kaisen where Megan Thee Stallion was actually mentioned. Like things like that. There's a character who he asked people what type of girls they like, and if he don't like your answer, he beat you up. So he asked the dude like what type of girls he like. He was like, I like tall girls with a big butt like Megan Thee Stallion. Like there are moments like that in anime where the pop culture gets mixed in with anime culture and everything, those intersections. Yeah. It's way bigger than people think it is. Like if you don't know what anime is, people have a certain idea of what it is, but it's way bigger than that. Like anime is growing fast.
And you know, one thing I knew there used to be a lot of blackface in anime. Yeah. And like if you think about how it's evolved, honestly, maybe part of that is because they know who's watching. Facts. And it's like, you got to come correct. I think like it was like Popo or
Mr. Popo.
Yeah, Mr. Was that in Dragon Ball?
It was in Dragon Ball. Yeah, the Japanese, especially back then,
they watched American TV from the 30s and 40s.
That's all they have. Yeah. Like there weren't really black people in Japan at the time, so that was all they really had. Some people are shocked. They're like, "Whoa, you don't even look like." I thought y'all looked like Mr. Popo. Like that's
which is crazy.
Which is
y'all.
Crazy. But like stuff like that is wild. Jinx from Pokemon looked crazy back in the day. Yeah. Jinx doesn't look like that anymore, but looked crazy back in the day. It got crazy, but like it was just a situation of, I don't know if I could say that situation in Japan was racism, because they were kind of just looking at the racism that we had here and was like, this is all we know.
So they were just trying to echo.
They were just, that's what they thought people genuinely look like. But even the designs for black people now in anime, if you look at anime like Fire Force or just a bunch of different anime where you're like, oh wow, these black people are drawn well. Like this is actually like, they don't draw them with the big lips and the craziness. Like now they actually look better. Some of the coolest anime characters are the black ones. Like they're the dopest looking ones. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool. Like anime and black culture literally goes hand in hand.
They go together.
And it works perfectly. Like it's so cool. On my drip is anime. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't even know if you didn't know, because it's just cool. You know? Yeah. It's fire.
Okay, period.
Yeah. It's coming up. It's being a big thing. So if you don't watch anime, go check it out. I promise you will enjoy it. I promise you.
Well, with that, so y'all give it up for Malcolm.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, give it up for y'all, because I'm telling y'all production is fantastic. Y'all production is way better than ours. It's way better. Y'all killing it.
Period. So with that said, you know what it is. Okay, what advice you got for people that want to be a content creator, especially full time?
You got to stay consistent. You have to do things that you want to do. Don't do something just because it's cool, it's a trend. Do what you want to do and have fun. Like you got to just have fun and do it with people that you want to do it with. A lot of people think coming up is, let me just go find somebody who I think will be good with me, or I think this. Our podcast has gone on 5 years because it's genuine friendships. Like these are people that we genuinely like, we genuinely care about. So if you're gonna do it with somebody, do it with people you actually care about.
Okay, period.
Yeah.
Y'all notes. Also, you on the Everyday is Yay show.
Facts.
How do you make every day a yay?
I make every day a yay by just doing even if I don't want to do it in the moment, doing what's going to set me up for that happiness in the future. Yes, not every day I want to be editing videos or every day I want to shoot, but I can take genuine joy in knowing that every day I take a step toward getting to that finish line that I want to be at. You know what I'm saying? It might not always be fun, but you got to do it. Yeah. You got to go to the gym if you're trying to get swole.
Exactly.
That's what you got to do.
Got to take it day by day.
Exactly.
Period.
Yep.
So how can we support you?
Check me out over on the Storm Podcast. That's THA Storm Podcast. We also have another podcast called Thunder Talks Podcast. Where over there we talk about life, relationships, music, jokes, is everything over there. And go check me out over on TikTok, and my personal page is at Malcolm Crawford _. I'm everywhere. Anywhere you could think, I'm probably there.
Yes!
Yeah. Let's do it.
Thank you all so much for tuning into another episode of Everyday is a Yay. And remember, you have the power to make every day a yay! Woo! That was fire.
This was fire. This was an awesome show. I love